The Super Falcons of Nigeria will take on the Amazons of Benin Republic in the second leg of the second round of the qualifiers for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations. The match will be played at the MKO Abiola Stadium in Abeokuta on Tuesday, October 28th at 3 p.m. Nigerian time. This is the final round of qualifiers. The winner of the match between Nigeria and Benin Republic on aggregate will qualify for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations in Morocco. And then talking about the match, the Super Falcons of Nigeria won the first leg of the match. They defeated Benin Republic 2-0 in Lome, Togo. The two goals were scored in the first half of the match. Chinwedu Ihezuo scored the first goal for Nigeria, and then Esther Okoroko scored the second goal for Nigeria just before halftime to make it 2-0 to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And so the Super Falcons of Nigeria have a 2-0 advantage ahead of the return leg in Abeokuta.
Qui a été, on va dire, qui se trouve face à face avec la gardienne béninoise. Et cette fois-ci, elle n'était pas rangée, même si Martinez.
However, it is not done and dusted. We still have a second match to play in Abeokuta. The Super Falcons have started well, and so they must finish well. So they must bring in their A game into this match. So they must take this match very seriously, especially against Benin, because even when we played against Benin and we defeated them by 2-0, Benin still proved to be a formidable opposition. They were not embarrassed in the match, as in they really put up their best in that match. And don't forget that Benin Republic have never been to the Women's African Cup of Nations, so they will also fancy their chances of playing at the Women's African Cup of Nations. So they will be coming determined and they will be coming strong in this match. So the Super Falcons of Nigeria cannot afford to be complacent now. They have to be serious in this match because it is not yet done and dusted. They have to bring in their A game and put up their best in this match. And because they are the defending champions, they must really live up to the rating of defending champions. And then if they do this, they'll be able to surmount, they'll be able to win the match on Tuesday and qualify for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations. As I said, the Super Falcons of Nigeria are the defending champions of the Women's African Cup of Nations, and they won the last edition in Morocco, where they defeated Morocco 3-2 in a thrilling final match. Now looking at Nigeria and Benin Republic, for Benin Republic, they've never played at the Women's African Cup of Nations. They've never qualified for the Women's African Cup of Nations. They've never qualified for the Women's African Cup of Nations. Whereas the Super Falcons of Nigeria have been to the Women's African Cup of Nations 13 times, and they've also won the title a record 10 times. Benin Republic are ranked 144 in the world, while the Super Falcons of Nigeria are ranked 36th in the world. And Benin Republic in the first round of the qualifiers defeated Sierra Leone 5-2 on aggregate to get to the second round of the qualifiers. And in their match against Sierra Leone, the first leg of the match ended 2-1 in favor of Benin Republic, while the second leg of the match ended 3-1. And so Benin defeated Sierra Leone 5-2 on aggregate in the first round of the qualifiers. And I'm talking about the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations. It will serve as the qualifier for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup to be hosted by Brazil. The 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations will take place from March 17 to April 3 next year in Morocco, and then it will serve as the qualifier for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. And the first semi-finalists at the Women's African Cup of Nations will qualify for the 2027 World Cup in Brazil. And talking about the FIFA Women's World Cup, the Super Falcons of Nigeria are featured at the FIFA Women's World Cup 9 times, and then their best result at the FIFA Women's World Cup was getting to the quarterfinals in 1999. They also got to the round of 16 in 2019 and in 2023. We want to wish the Super Falcons of Nigeria all the best in their match against Benin Republic this Tuesday. So who is going to win the match between the Super Falcons of Nigeria and the Amazons of Benin Republic at the MKO Abiola Stadium in Abeokuta on Tuesday, October 28th at 3 p.m. Nigerian time? Is it Nigeria or is it Benin Republic? Give me your feedback and comment at the comment section, and I'll see you at the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's still your girl, Top C. Thank you.